It's Open House Thursday on YourView. Welcome to the show. I am Murayo Afolabi. As always, I have the ladies with me. Takwe Makadiga in the building. Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing very well. So I joined Hallelujah Challenge late. But it's not too late because I realized that the wind just blows, and if it's like when rain is falling and you have no idea, and you're someone that needs the water from the rain and it just passes you by. So I actually needed the Hallelujah Challenge season, but I wasn't conscious of it. So I joined very late. This is my second day, and I'm not catching up I'm not doing what they're doing today. I went back to get from the beginning, and it's been really, really interesting. I love it. I'm a prayer person. I'm not a shaking head prayer person. I believe that our God loves us, so we don't need to be doing all those extra work and be doing vigil. You don't need to shout to talk to God. My own God, He listens to me, He loves me, He cares about me. I don't need to distress. So, yeah, if you haven't joined Hallelujah Challenge, it's interesting. Okay. But then, today, we shut down our office. So I have two people getting married. My Sandra, who is now head of HR, has gone for traditional wedding today.
Her own?
Yes, her own traditional wedding in the village, which is tomorrow. And her assistant HR person, let me not mention her name. She's doing court wedding today. Oh. So half of my staff has gone to the village. The second half have gone to represent. Where only one person was like, I don't really feel like going. I said, don't worry, just stay at home. Today, Rep 360 is shutting down because we have wedding. This is two people getting married, but I feel very blessed.
Well,
it's a beautiful thing.
Well done. Congratulations to them.
Yeah, 2 nights ago, we had Pastor Selman.
Yes.
Challenge. So
okay.
So, yeah, so yeah. I don't miss it.
That's your church.
It's not my church, but no. But the Hallelujah Challenge, anybody can join. It's just interesting.
How you doing, Amaka?
I'm fine. Today is all about my immediate elder brother, Goziem. It's his birthday. Yes, he's the brother that is married to my very close friend that is also a lawyer. Came and took my friend. It's amazing. So it's one family. So happy birthday, Goziem. I'm wishing you all the best. You're an amazing brother, dependable. I don't do any business. I don't do anything without you being involved, without you feeding it. Yes, I don't do anything without you. So thank you so much for being my support. Everything. Thank you.
Amazing.
Hello. Gorgeous. Look at how fine you're looking in your natural hair.
Auntie Yeni is going to be screaming.
How you doing, Dr. Obiajile Ugo?
Amazing.
You're Japanese inspired.
Yeah, so
very nice.
So I had an interesting conversation with a teenager yesterday. I had given them assignments, those of them who are participating in the teenagers course, to journal about, we're working on their moods and how to handle their emotions and their feelings and all those jiggy things. I said, so journal. And then she came back to me and said she can't journal because mommy goes through everything. And there are certain things she wants to write, but she knows that mommy will see it, and she's not ready to talk to mommy about it. Oh. And I'm like, so how do you do it? Okay, how about your phone? Can you journal? Because I need you to write down those emotions. It's very important. They say, mommy goes through her phone. How do we have this conversation? And she was like, can you talk to mommy?
Give me some privacy.
Myself, yes. How do I talk to mommy, who probably knows best on how to handle her daughter, that at certain ages, they should have a form of privacy. She has actually finished secondary school, you know, and she feels like there's no privacy at all. So she's bottling up a lot, because I noticed in one of her assignments, she's bottling up a lot. She can't share because she's not ready to have that conversation. And I'm now turning between, how do I... my book needs to come out, you know, so you know how to have some of these conversations and make your kids free enough and also give them a level of their own privacy.
Or you will read and not let her know that you are
reading.
Because you are giving feedback with heat. Yes. That's how she knows.
Yes. You're reading.
And you just take it in. Just go and meet an Obiajile Ugo. This is what I read.
Yes. Because I read too, and they don't know I read. You know, they don't know I read.
Yeah. But they know now.
No, my children don't. They don't watch.
They don't watch.
Yeah, it's cool. Don't cover me now. You know,
good.
How are you, Mo?
I'm fine. I'm good.
It was packed for you.
Yes, they had quite a lot of events. In fact, yesterday, congratulations to Design Week Lagos. Yeah. I mean, they're doing an amazing job just putting Africa and Nigerian art designs on the map, which is amazing. And in the evening, Ejiro Imostafiri had her collection fashion show yesterday. It was really nice.
Customer.
Somebody I use, I'm a very loyal customer to her brand. So, you know, I got the invitation for it. And she has really beautiful designs. Like, this is her new collection. It's off the book. So, I'm really waiting to order when I have some money. But my own banter was that yesterday I had dinner with one piece of chicken.
Why?
Because, you know, usually we're so used to just eating anyhow, 2-3 pieces, meat, you can just, and when they open the pot, and you now count how many pieces of meat, if I eat 3 or 2,
it won't go round.
It won't go round. And I was like, okay, just because of this ground, let me just take one. And it was paining me. Because I wanted to really, I was like, kind of, this.
I can eat without meat, so I'm not really.
I really wanted that protein. It's like that chicken. I really wanted, but I just had one piece.
You make sacrifices.
Sacrifices. Not that there's no chicken in the freezer, but what was cooked for that day,
I understand.
We counted it.
I understand that thing. Like, if it's small, something small, but it will get to you because it's something you wanted and you can't get to enjoy.
It's feeling me. So, Band-Aid economy, we're feeling it. Let's go on a short break. When we come back, we'll look at the front pages of the paper. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're going to start with The Nation. Tinubu fires 5 ministers in major cabinet reshuffle. FCCPC boss blames food inflation on hoarders. Nigeria taking steps to strengthen Naira, says Edu. Avoid flooding, relocate on your dam path, Ogun urges residents. NIBSS plans BVN platform for Nigerians in diaspora by December. Trial of Binance chief for money laundering terminated. And Attorney General in trouble over state suit against EFCC. Okay.
Yes, so I have the alleged money laundering. The federal government stops Binance chief Gambaryan's trial. So the federal government has discontinued the prosecution of an official of Binance Holdings Limited, Tigran Gambaryan, for alleged money laundering and related offenses, yes. So we know that he has been on trial with his employer, Binance, at a federal high court in Abuja on money laundering charge. That's with the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. That's the EFCC had filed that against them. And the prosecuting lawyer, R.U. Adagba, had told the court yesterday that the government had decided to withdraw its charge against Gambaryan. That's the second defendant. The first one had disappeared. So Adagba said the prosecution's decision to discontinue further prosecution of the second defendant was informed by his health challenges. Said the prosecution would proceed against the first defendant, that's the one that had disappeared, the firm in the absence of the second defendant. So the lawyer to the defendant did not oppose the prosecution decision to withdraw the charge against the second defendant, that's Gambaryan now. So the ruling Justice Emeka Nwite granted the prosecution's request and discharged Gambaryan from the case. So he's out of the case now. The judge had adjourned till November 22 for continuation of the trial. They are hoping to see how they can get the first defendant.
Okay. Yeah. So the Chief Executive Officer of the Federal Competition and Consumers Protection Commission, FCCPC, Mr. Tunji Bello, said yesterday that unscrupulous elements are the major contributors to food inflation in the country. He also said that price fixing by bad eggs and entrance levies imposed by market associations. He was saying this at a town hall meeting yesterday where he was speaking with industry captains, micro, small and medium enterprise market leaders, and telling them that there's a stiff penalty for those who are hoarding produce. According to him, he says unethical practices remain punishable by law. He said that all the bad eggs engage in hoarding, artificial market creation, price fixing, and gouging would be checkmated by the government. He explained that the FCCP investigator found out that the unscrupulous produce merchants were in the habit of mopping up and hoarding newly harvested grains from the farms and markets, thereby endangering our national food security. So hopefully they do that. That can affect the price of food.
Okay, so bank verification number, BVN platform, will be inaugurated by December for Nigerians in diaspora.
Good news.
Yes,
Wow.
that's great news. Yes, so the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Cardoso, said that this platform will be launched by the Nigerian Interbank Settlement System, a subsidiary of the CBN. He also said that this will enable Nigerians in diaspora to be part of our economy, because it doesn't make sense that because you're not in Nigeria, you don't have your 11-digit number, which is unique to you in terms of operating a bank account, doing your transfers, operating businesses, and then ensuring that the bank knows your KYC, that they know your customer, where you put in other details about you, because for them to prevent fraud. So this is a new...
Hopefully this would also help them be able to tax Nigerians in diaspora, because Americans, no matter where you work in the world,
it's
you pay taxes.
Once you're a citizen, you pay taxes.
When if I work in Australia, working, and you pay government. So this, we have millions of Nigerians living in diaspora. It's time for us to start taxing them, aside from the money they're sending their family. Taxing them through this BVN eventually will be good for our economy. I think is really important.
That will make them run away from doing
it. What Americans are doing, we would like to copy Americans. Hey, American brothers are doing it now.
Let me quickly share a story from the minister. So Wale Adun was speaking in the US. He was speaking at the World Economic event, and he was addressing, it was an investors' parley, and making the investors understand. They had people from Goldman Sachs, had the CBN governor, Cardoso, was there. They also had the Director General of Debt Management Office. And generally saying that these are we have efforts to strengthen the Naira and de-dollarize the Nigerian economy. And that for the first time in 40 years, that there's a Naira, people are meant to invoice in Naira. He said that they have moved into major free markets. The petrol is free market, jet fuel, kerosene, and this is the first time it is happening in 40 years, and these are part of the things they are doing to de-dollarize the market. Spoke about the fact that there were some stories about the fact that NNPC is mopping up dollar in the market. Said, well, NNPC is a free agent, it's a PLC, and they can do what they want to do, but on their own perspective, they are trying to ensure that the increased petrol production, that would improve dollar inflow and reduce pressure on the Naira. So we're hoping that all these things that they are doing and saying will bring proper ease for Nigerian businesses who actually need dollar.
Okay, moving on to the Punch. Private sector opposition split as Tinubu reshuffles cabinet. FEC okays $618 billion loan for fighter jets and ammunition. Canadian lady jailed 11 years for importing 32.2 kilograms of cannabis. On your dam, Ogun communities reject Abiodo's relocation advisory. Diasporan residents get non-resident BVM platform, says the Cardoso. 12 states delay 30,000 Naira minimum wage for teachers. And Dangote refinery begins direct petrol sale to marketers for the 18th time.
What? So you can take a story before we go, right?
Yes.
So the Federal High Court in Lagos...
Let me go on a short break. When we come back, we continue with our review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still reviewing Punch. Go ahead.
Yes, the Federal High Court in Lagos on Wednesday convicted and sentenced the 41-year-old Canadian lady, we've been following up on the story, Andrian Munju, to 11 years imprisonment for importing 35.20 kilograms of Canadian loud, that's the cannabis sativa, into Nigeria. Justice Deinde Dipeolu was the one who handed down the verdict, also gave her an option of 100 million Naira fine on the 2 counts preferred against her by NDLEA. So the judge convicted and sentenced Munju following her plea of guilt on the 2 counts. When she was earlier convicted or arraigned, the NDLEA prosecutor, Mr. Abu Ibrahim, told the court that Munju, without lawful authority, imported 35.20 kilograms of cannabis sativa, known as the Canadian loud, into Nigeria. And we know when the incident happened, when she was caught, October 3rd, 2024, when they were clearing the inbound passengers on the KLM flight. So back to her plea, she pleaded guilty. And according to her lawyer, said that they had to review the facts of the case, and she did not waste the court's time by pleading guilty. So they were appealing that her sentence is being reduced because she didn't waste their time at all, that she was led into committing that crime. So they should tamper justice with mercy. And so I think it was now further reduced to 50 million Naira. And they're saying that the 2 counts will run concurrently while she's paying the fine at the same time. So that is where the matter is.
Okay, let me go back to Dangote. We're discussing Dangote. The more we discuss it, the more we discuss it. Because, so for the 18th time, since Dangote has finally started supplying premium motor spray, that's fuel, petrol, to some oil marketers directly without recourse to NNPC. So there were reports that some of the marketers were actually importing directly outside the country, importing petrol for Nigerians, according to the report from Punch. They're trying to meet up with the shortfall from Dangote refinery. So according to this report, it said that they had about 122.4 million liters of PMS were berthed at the 2 seaports to improve fuel supply nationwide. However, others have gone to Dangote directly to buy. So we'll now begin to see the competition for those importing and those buying directly. Hopefully there should be a difference.
There's no stipulation.
Hopefully there should be a difference in the buying. So we'll see how that goes. It might take time for this thing to ease out, but eventually, but according to the last guest that came the other time, Dangote is still not meeting up with the national demand.
Yeah. Okay, so 12 states of the... This is just a joke.
Even when I was reading, I don't understand. So maybe help you explain to me. This is your story.
This is my story. So 12 states of the Federation are yet to implement the 2019 minimum wage of 30,000 naira for teachers. So they said that before, teachers were paid 18,000 naira as minimum wage, which is so sad. Teachers. Then they now, in 2019, they now increased it to 30,000, right? And now federal government now has increased minimum wage to 70,000. Okay. When some states have not even met the 30,000 naira minimum wage, they're still paying 18,000 naira. Right. So they are calling them out. They say that data from the National Union of Teachers showed that though some states implemented the 2019 minimum wage, it was not done for primary school teachers. That the states that did not even implement at all, that's on their 18,000 naira. Abia, Adamawa, Benue, Cross River, Gombe, Imo, Kogi, Niger, Sokoto, Taraba, Bauchi, and Zamfara. This is sad. They now said that the ones that implemented it for teachers, but did not implement for primary school teachers, I'm sad. Anambra, Bayelsa, Bono, Delta, Enugu, Jigawa, Kaduna, Nasarawa, and Yobe.
A whole Delta.
It is bad, though.
They have oil money.
Yes, they now said that. Yes, they now said that the Abia State government was also accused of failure to implement the this current minimum wage. For all workers in the state.
Okay, so happy to call people out.
Let's not do this. Teachers are the ones that are taking care of our kids now. They should try.
Some states might not be mentioned.
No, let me quickly take the story. The fighter jet. So, FEC meeting took place yesterday. The president presided, and the Minister for National Orientation and Minister for Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, who was representing the Minister for Economy, Coordinating Minister of Economy, who is in America, said that there has been an approval. So the Nigerian Air Force should be expecting 6 fighter aircraft and ammunition, and this is total of $618 million. Why am I eager to take the story? Because I just took a story saying that they have de-dollarized our economy, and quotes are now in Naira. However, this quote is in dollar.
Did you see the invoice?
Then they've approved 740 billion naira for the beggar stretch of Abuja to Kano, among other high-profile road projects. So there were 3 things approved at this current FEC meeting, and 2 of them, one ammunition, second one for road, and the third of them was about the custom.
Very difficult FEC meeting. How can you come to work and they tell you that you're sacked?
Without warning.
Came in as a minister.
And you're leaving. But they've seen the handwriting. Everybody that's left
that something was going to happen. But they didn't know who was going to be.
They may have known.
That's our HR
consultations.
With the former minister of NPA.
Oh, yeah, Hadiza Bala.
We're looking at you.
Your recommendations.
Wow. Moving on to Daily Sun.
She protects her.
Yeah, she's fine. Tinubu under pressure to retain Chief Security Officer. Uzodinma NGE President tasked journalists to promote growth in the Old Eastern region. FG seeks $618 million loan to buy attack jets. Troops smash armed groups' camps. Neutralize scores, rescue 14 in Southeast. Tension heightens in cabinet as President sacks Maman Biu and others. And PDP asks North Central to produce nominee for national chairman. Okay, story.
We'll talk about what the troops are doing across states. So troops of 82 Division, Nigerian Army and the Joint Task Force Southeast, codenamed Operation Udoka, have smashed camps of 2 armed groups operating within the Southeast. This is contained in a statement by Lieutenant Colonel Jonah Onoakalo, Acting Deputy Director, 82 Division, Army Public Relations, yesterday in Enugu. And he said 4 members of the groups were neutralized, while 14 persons held hostage in the groups were rescued. Onoakalo said that the operation, which was well executed, also led to the clampdown on the activities of illegal oil bunkers within their joint operation area. And according to him, early hours of Tuesday, troops of Sector 5 of Operation Udoka and other security agencies came in contact with the group at the Iwouku and Oga axis of Agwata Council of Anambra State. I said during the firefight, the troops had superior firepower. They forced the criminals to flee. Now, during the encounter, one of the members was neutralized. 2 black-colored Lexus Jeeps with registration number, 1 pump action with 3 cartridges were recovered. Monday 21, troops also deployed at FOB Lilu came in contact with another terrorist group after detonating their improvised explosive devices. So they went ahead to just tell us most of the things that they've done around the states. There are lots of them here, and there was another rescue operation where they arrested 1 suspected kidnapper and recovered 3 SUVs. Also helped to, rescue the people that were kidnapped. So well done to our Nigerian troops. The
Imo State Governor, Senator Hope Uzodimma, yesterday has canvassed collaborative approach amongst journalists in the eastern region to fast-track development in their state. He was saying that journalists have a responsibility to see how they can participate in the development of that region. Specifically, he said there's something called, he emphasized developmental journalism as a catalyst towards promoting issues of mutual interest amongst people. I think this is an important phrase, developmental journalism, because journalists always think that their job is to catch the government, to call out the government, to indict the government. They think that's their role. But the truth is that part of our job is to help development, to educate, inform, and to also support the government in a way to ensure that people understand what the government is trying to do. Because if we are on that positive light, then we can see things in different ways. So I think this is what he was trying to get the journalists within his state to begin to do. So as media professionals, you have the unique ability to highlight these issues, provoke public discourse, and trigger action from government. So well done to the governor of Imo State. Moving on quickly now to Vanguard. Let's see how much time we have. Just a few minutes. Vanguard, let's find a story we've not taken. My breasts are hurting, says Bobrisky. Just somebody took that story. That's why Nigerians to get BVN, says Cardoso. FG gives Julius Berger 7-day ultimatum over the Abuja-Kaduna road. Mixed reactions as federal government scraps Niger Delta ministry. Climate change, Lagos is sinking. Deputy Governor Hamzat raises alarm. IMF wants Nigerians to focus more on increasing tax revenue. And, yeah. Story?
There was a story in the papers that I think is very important. The Akwa Ibom. So a lawmaker in Akwa Ibom State has called for quick implementation of a particular budgetary allocation. Said that is the head chairman of the Committee on Health, and he was doing inspection of medical facilities. So he visited some hospitals. He's representing Ibiono Ibom State's constituency, and he said on Tuesday while he was visiting General Hospital Ona, another General Hospital, Emmanuel Hospital, Eket, and General Hospital in Ikwata in Oron, he said they found out they didn't have enough health workers. So he said there is a critical need to recruit health workers in Akwa Ibom State. There was provision made for it in the 2024 budget, but there isn't implementation of that particular provision right now. And he's asking it to be done very fast, because we're going to the hospital, they realize there are no health workers to deliver services, and the health workers are not even living in the staff quarters, because, and that way maybe they are working in other hospitals, so they are not living in the staff quarters. So he's saying, when we recruit you, if you are working in a general hospital, you must live in the staff quarters, which is within the facility, giving you proximity to the hospital in case we need you. And there must be quick recruitment of more medical personnel in that state. It's a good thing, and I'm sure the Akwa Ibom people are happy to hear that. We also want to know what the Commissioner for Health in Akwa Ibom is doing to ensure they bridge this gap, especially since there's provision for it in the budget for 2024.
So the Deputy Governor of Lagos State, Dr. Obafemi Hamzat, has raised the alarm that just like New York City, I like the way he just put New York first before Lagos, so that Nigerians should start thinking, hey, they say Lagos is sinking. Just like New York City, Lagos too is sinking. He kept saying it just like New York. He noted that the state faces imminent danger of submersion if proper steps are not taken to address the challenges of the climate change issues, urging everyone to take action to prevent impending natural disasters. He also cited examples like UK, New York City, where people are already relocating to safer areas due to climate change, and warned that if action is not taken in Lagos State, in the next 20-25 years, we might be facing this. He noted that with the shoreline of 180 kilometers, Lagos is surrounded by water, and just like New York, Lagos is sinking. Oh, Dr. I love the way you put it. So you don't feel like I don't even want to sinking.
Yes, Nigeria's controversial cross-dresser. Sorry? Bobrisky.
Oh, Bobrisky.
Yes, has been rushed to the police hospital at Falomo, Lagos, after complaining that his breast was paining him. Yes. So he said he had discomfort after spending a few hours in the police cell at Alagbo, Lagos State, and he was taken to the hospital 2 p.m. yesterday. But, you know, some persons found that it was more like a decoy because they wanted to move him. They wanted to move him to another, you know, facility, and they didn't want attention. So they had to take him through the hospital first. But they said the breast was actually paining him, so they passed the hospital. And
I hope the police know that these breasts are not cheap. They're very expensive.
Yes, you know, because they should
treat it with very
they
care.
normally would be checking regularly.
Yes.
I don't know how long.
I don't understand why.
Please, no, listen.
I'm looking at people in shock.
Existing, but
the Nigerian police must understand that these things are expensive. And they must protect this man very well because those the breasts must be protected.
It's really expensive.
Not cheap.
Interesting sarcasm.
And it's life-threatening if something happens.
You know me, I don't have a... You know me, I think I believe in the rights of Beecee. He has rights. Let's go on a short break. It's Thursdays, our gisting day. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So yesterday, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu approved the immediate implementation of 8 far-reaching actions to invigorate the administration yesterday, and which included the sacking of some ministers. Many of us woke up this morning to get the news of a few ministers who have been sacked, new ministers appointed, others reassigned. And there's been quite a bit of mixed reactions on this. What are your own thoughts? You can call us on 081-0764-1679, 090-241-63440. You can also send us messages on X and also on YouTube. We'll be happy to read your messages. What are your general thoughts? Let me come to the ladies. So many, let's start with those who were sacked. Top on that list, obviously, is Dr.
Barrister
Uju Kennedy Ohane. This is somebody that has been trending for a while. Many people really had, they believed in what she was doing based on what she was expressing to Nigerians. But when seeing her name on that list, it took many by shock. Let me get your thoughts on it. Who'd like to go first?
I felt she was very active. Maybe I'd called her out here that's not the kind of activeness we wanted. We wanted active activities that are geared around empowering women on a more long-term level. But the things she stood out for and the seeming controversies of her shutting down events, one thing that you cannot take from her is consistently she said she doesn't want to do events. She doesn't want the ministry to spend money or support events that will cost money that could have gone to the people. That, for me, was valuable. That, for me, it doesn't deserve to be for her to be stepped down on because she represented something that was different. Yeah. What we see in Nigeria in most cases is when we want to flag off events, we have a ceremony that is very expensive. We spend money when we now finish the event, and she did not like it, she did not support it, and she did not mince word in expressing herself. Maybe she was too expressive. Maybe it is not usual to see women at that level coming up and saying those kind of things and calling out something that has become a norm in Nigeria. But I feel the president, knowing that we want to cut costs, should have taken that what she represents in saying no event to flag off programs should now become a nationwide policy. Yeah. That as a country, we will not be spending money doing events because we want to flag off an initiative. It didn't make sense. But I'm sure that there was a detailed report that preceded this readjustment. Okay. And that detailed report was based on KPIs that all the ministers were given. What I would love as a concerned citizen is if the KPI was published so that the ones they kept, we will know if they actually kept up to the... Because some ministers were retained that I felt... we did not see you, but maybe they saw something. They should let us see what they saw so that we're sure about it.
So I second what you said, because this government said they're all about transparency, carrying us along. Let us know. So you're right. They should publish it so that we can also, judge them and then, score them. For me, Barrister Uju Kennedy represented certain values that were different from the normal values that we normally see in public service. And, I really like that about her, and I wish that they should have kept her because her own really shook me. Because I looked at it, I said, there's some people there that should go. Why her? I don't think she was amongst those people. She stood for something, she had value, she believed in something, and she worked. She was seen working, even though some people might feel that she kept coming on the news for wrong, maybe for not being diplomatic in the way they expected her to.
Yeah.
But the thing is that we're all different and we handle things differently. And sometimes Nigerians need harshness. If you never shout, sometimes sometimes I want to leave the house. And I said, I'm not going to curse today. But by the time you just drive less than 2 minutes, you're already like, under your breath, you're already cursing. So Nigerians, sometimes they need that
my driver was...
And she did that.
My driver was gone for 2 weeks. He was ill. I had to drive. And I was reminded of why I got a driver. Again, now I know I was engaged. I just see, you can't just... I was already shouting. You need your driver. Please come back and focus on
you tell people that there are certain things you should meet, criteria you should meet before you do certain things.
Let me come to Beecee because... her non-conventional and crude approach could have been a threat to people within the ministry because we saw them celebrating. Yeah. And you're thinking, okay, so you're celebrating. Why are you celebrating now? Is it fair for us to assume from outside, oh, it's because she wanted to take chop from your mouth? Or were there other things they were not happy about that maybe they also justified for cheering?
Yeah, so what I realized is human beings do not like change. People who have been in a certain system have found loopholes in the system to walk into their pockets will always frown when there's someone trying to cut that out. It will seem like, where are you coming from? Who gave you this opportunity? Why do you want to come and mess up what has been here since the days of our forefathers? And so there will always be people fighting. And this is where I expect that the federal government will see in between the lines to understand that this woman is working with the KPI we've given, whether you people like her or not, whether you're coming behind to tell me that she's very harsh or she's shouting, she's not diplomatic, is she doing the job? And that reminded me of Margaret Thatcher of the UK. When she got into power and she was able to take some very tough decisions, she was able to fight some very, tough wars. People were like, why this woman? Why you? This is not how things are done. You're supposed to be making peace here. You're supposed to be doing things. But she stood her ground. And we know how long her administration lasted. People will always fight against it. So I would have expected that if this woman, except of course they are saying that what she's doing, the cost she's trying to cut, we don't want to cut the cost, which is different from what the presidency has always told us, that they are trying as much as possible to reduce the cost of government. And now you have someone who is deliberately trying to reduce it in this particular ministry where she has a jurisdiction, and then you send her away. I think it's unfair on that part. Also, working the system, there's a way we do things. We had this conversation yesterday that we always like to stay with the status quo. This is African. This is how you cannot just be calling out your elders in public. That's not how we do things. And you're even a woman for that matter. How dare you? Those are some of the things that may have played against her for you to have people jubilating.
But there could be actual, just like Tokwe said, there could be actual indices that she was being judged against. So maybe that this one works against her because but there could be other things that we did not see because aside from your job as Minister of Women Affairs, there could be certain things that the president expects of you to do within this period. So maybe, as you said, let them release it to us. So we have an idea. Now, we might not all agree, but at least we'll have an idea where the thinking came from. But another person that we need to also talk about is... the fact
I want to talk about Lola Adejo.
She came in and she was ill. She felt ill. Yeah. And I think she was flown out for a while. And since then, we haven't heard from her.
But she came back and she spoke about a few of the things she was... Because she was one of the people that I felt her appointment was a bit misplaced because she's someone who's been in tech, and she's did well, and then you bring her into tourism. So for me, I was looking out for that place, and then I realized that why she was silent for a long time was because she wasn't feeling fine. But when she started coming out again this year, she spoke about what she wanted to do, highlighting the fact that tourism is about our culture, lack of funding with the Nigerian tourism development. There's a NTDA that is supposed to handle a lot of the things that are happening. But she highlighted the places and the partnership she's striking. Nigeria doesn't have like this website. Every time you go to, if you want to travel, you see
places to visit.
They have a website that you can use to access places to visit. But we don't really have that concerted platform where you can just say, oh, if you come to Nigeria, you need to go to Ikogosi, you need to go to Yankari Game Reserve, you need to go to... So she was working on something like that. So I'm worried that there will be my concern is, would there be continuity of the good things even while we are bringing
but
about...
No, they've collapsed
They've
that
collapsed
ministry.
it now,
Yes.
which is...
Now under Hannatu Musawa.
It's
not going to be under Hannatu Musawa, who's going to be handling arts, culture, and the creative economy.
Yeah.
So it's all part of it.
So I think that was what it should have been in the first place, because I didn't understand why the tourism was separated from arts and culture and creative economy. So I just feel like the way they now collapsed it and then put it together under one, I think it's just perfect.
To have more weight.
Also, I was expecting Dr. Betta Edu to be back. I was hoping. I thought they were going to be. The reason why I wanted her back.
They didn't even dignify her with a mention.
I'm saying, I don't understand. The reason why I thought she could have been given a second chance, because listen, this is a young woman that was given this opportunity. I don't know the circumstances behind behind what we have in the papers, but I think that she was young. Yes, there could have been a bit of inexperience that played out in whatever offense she was accused of. But I think just for the optics of this president is youth conscious and he's woman conscious. It would have been nice to give her another chance. At least let us see another 1 year what she can do. Because in that few months where she worked, we saw she was quite active, going around to all these various places, trying to see what they can do with the humanitarian affairs. So I would have liked to even see her back. I mean, you guys are expecting her back?
Maybe she frayed a lot of nerves. Maybe she, there's a way you do your work where you think that you have gotten to a position and then that humility that you came with, you suddenly drop it. And Nigerians are very particular about respect. They're very particular about how you talk to them, how you were talking to them before you got this position, and how you're talking to them now that you have the position. So they look out for some of those things. And, the whispers in the quarters is that she was not looking at anybody's face. She just wanted to face her. This Obodo Yibo, it will work, where you focus on what... we don't want to copy that one now.
So how do we know what to copy?
I'm just saying this is...
I know, I agree with you. I agree with you. Yesterday I was telling you too how we are. You're saying that no, we should copy US. Today you're saying we should copy here. So
we're trying to copy.
How we know they want to copy
well? We're not copying well. That's the problem.
But the thing is this. For the fact that nothing had been mentioned about her for a while, you understand? So for me, I was not expecting her to come back, because if she was going to come back, or if there was like a suspicion, you will have heard and you will have seen, things. But moves. It's been silent totally. So
who are you guys most happy about that was sacked?
Minister of Education. No,
thank you. I was going to go there.
Everybody going there.
Are you happy?
But recent months now, he picked up.
Because there's not been strike, Sha.
That's what I'm saying now. In this last day, and then curriculum change.
What's your own issue? What's your issue?
What's your issue with
him?
Now, I have a personal issue with him. I just feel for that ministry, we need someone who is an educationist. It's very important to me, because you need to understand the intricacies of the educational system. You need to be able to compare what is working, what is not. You need to be able to do a lot of things, but you can't do it from the outside, because you will not understand. It's not about 2+2 in the classroom, or about put a curriculum together. As long as students are going in and students are churning out, we are good. Education has gone beyond where we are in Nigeria, as a matter of fact. So we need someone who, aside from being an educationist, you have to be tech as well, to understand the needs of the different schools, the needs of the teachers themselves. A lot of teacher trainings need to be done. This is my space. So somebody that has to be there has to be good.
Well, I don't know much about
deliver.
I mean, Dr.
Jamila.
Okay, I'm going to stay on education, but let's go to Dr. Jamila.
Yes, Dr. Jamila, I don't know, the two ministers of youth were 38. So they took down, they discharged one and they discharged the female. I know that it's not because she's a woman. I'm sure there are other reasons why.
Why are you emphasizing it?
But she's a woman, and we must speak up for the fact that she's a woman.
Yeah.
Because right now, what they gave us, that we celebrated that we had a few female ministers. Now we are short one. We are short one, no, because we are calculating on your behalf, dear President. When you removed 3 women, you brought 3 women, but you did not put Betta Edu here, and so that means you did not replace the female, another female slot. Every portfolio that a woman has, we want to keep as much as a woman there. Yes, and increase it, not reduce it. Right now, it's reduced, and I'm trying to, like I said, until they give us that KPI they used to make this.
We will not know.
People would assume it is political. People would assume it is based on pressure from different angles, or maybe she's not playing ball or all of that. That's why
speculations.
There'll be speculation. But if you give us the KPI, and since we know there was a KPI, then it should be released so that we can see. Because I wasn't expecting that the Minister of Sports will not be put on this list. That one shocked me. Because all of us have been saying that, the person, one of the people that disappointed us after what happened with the Olympic, that Minister of Sports should have just, they would have just discharged. But we did not even, we didn't see,
they didn't make it.
They did not rearrange.
There's a National Commission, a Sports Commission. So I think they scrapped the Ministry of Youth. I'll go back to it. What was the, I'll get back to it in a second. Let me take this call. Good morning, Moyo.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, you're live. Go ahead, please.
Yes. So, I want to talk about the sacked Minister of Women Affairs.
Yes.
The thing is that Nigerians don't like strict leaders. And strict leaders always mean well. Unfortunately, strict leaders are not pleasant. They talk anyhow. And the thing is that if you are a boss that likes anyhow, just allow people to come anytime they like, close anytime they like, misbehave anyhow, don't say anything. Those are the kind of leaders Nigerians see as good leaders. Another thing is that if you not call them out, to them, you're a bad leader. So you have to balance it and say, the reason I'm telling you to come early is that I know it might not be convenient, but because of ABCD, but by the time you are just dishing out commands, they will not like you, even if you are strict. So you have to be strict at the same time you talk. Learn to balance so that they will understand where you are coming from. Because in fact, if you want to know how angry you are, go and be a leader, then test your patience at any level. So if you are a leader, you have to have anger management. You have to be in control of your emotions because they will provoke you beyond where you might expect. So that's my
thank you very much. You see, when she was talking, I was remembering the president's wife, the former president's wife, Jonathan Pepe. People were yabbing her crudeness, her strictness. Then, but post her administration, people started saying, oh my goodness, we miss patience. So what do we want? Because I remember during that time, she was like, it was the public enemy #1. Because how can she be embarrassed like that? How can she be secret? To see how she even looks, we used to really criticize this woman. But she was as crude can be. She was not trying to...
But she was vocal.
She was very vocal and very eloquent.
But then we need to understand something, that whether we like it or not, the public sector is a bit lazy and laid back in terms of delivery and work. Even the time they get to work, even the time they clock out, everything is just very shoddy. So when I saw that video of them rejoicing and everything, it's obvious that you can tell that this person is here to work, but they're not ready to work. And then secondly, you can find out that in terms of cutting out certain things like flagging out events and stuff, there are some people in that ministry that if they've been there for 10 years, it has been their own contract to bring the person that is putting the poster. So there's so many. So these are the things we need to check, to be sure why certain things happened.
Let me stay with Namaka for a second, because I hear you. But you see, sometimes these things must be done gradually. And I will use Fashola yesterday. Was it yesterday we were talking about Fashola? Saying that he comes in, he's still oiling the system. He's still there, knowing that okay, maybe they like to do all this, because I know somebody that became a commissioner and said they're always doing one party, always send for, I can't stop them from doing that. But my own is make sure the work I'm here to do, make sure you do it. So you can be doing your send for, you can be doing your... So there's a possibility that you must be able to do it, because if you cut it off, you get cut off, and that's what happened. So we're not saying don't do work. But do work as you have to be very diplomatic and know how to manage these things. Because if you continue, you have to file it.
That's what even makes you an effective leader. The last college was just spot on. So as you go high in rank, you must learn how to play both sides. There's no wisdom in just saying, this is who I am, and I cannot change if you cannot work with me. Some systems will not allow you. When we get to that point, to the Obodo people and the Americans and all of that, where we don't need you to play any side, we just need you to come in and do the work. Even at that, we watched this movie now, The Crown. We saw all the politics that were being played, the intrigues, the conversations that will be had beneath and under before some decisions are taken. Nepotism, everything. It plays out everywhere in the world. So as a leader, you must be able to balance it. So maybe, and that's why I always say, we need people like the PR department who would help these leaders when they come out to present their case. Help them to train them on how to talk, train them on how to present,
to sell
their hard work and their ideas. No matter how upset they are about a situation, you would tell them that when you come out, your emotions must be under control. There's we have people with their mic standing there saying, follow the script and all of that, so that you communicate what you're supposed to communicate, and people, your good will not be evil spoken of. And
Let me take this call. Elder Henry, thanks for calling. You live.
Elder.
Good morning, ladies.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
I like what you people are doing. I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
I was very happy that the Minister of Education was hammered. He was involved in policy from assault. You can't imagine that he said a child of 18 years can only enter university. When in some countries, a child of university can graduate and be a doctor. So I was very happy that he was sacked. My only disappointment was that the Minister of Power was not hammered.
Okay, don't you have light in your house? Elder, you don't have light in your house. Don't you have light?
I don't have light. I'm using solar.
Where? Okay, using solar. Which area?
Yes.
Which area do you live?
In Beecee Auchi Road.
Okay, Auchi Road. Okay.
So the national grid collapsed within 1 week, 3 times, and the man was still the same. That's my disappointment on the cabinet result.
Thank you very much, Elder. You're right. Collapsing, that back to back.
Because there's been an explanation to buttress the reasons behind the collapse. That's why I did not call him out. And when he came into power, there's been improvement in that ministry. He has brought in some things that you can. I want to go to.
We'll come back. Stay with us.
When we come back, here we go. Hello, people.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still discussing the ministries, yes.
Yeah, so I wanted to go to our former Minister for Sports, because he was one of the ones I was expecting that he would be discharged, and he was moved into a very strong ministry. He's moved into he's now the Minister of State, Trade and Investments, Industry. And that ministry is a very, very heavy strong ministry. And this our minister is a politician. When you check him out, he's politician, farmer, teacher, philanthropist. That's how he's being described on social. Going through his CV, I'm like, okay, it's not like he has accomplished.
I'm sorry,
because he has served for a very long time.
Is the one that was giving Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment.
No, I said Minister of State. He is the Minister of State.
Okay, gotcha.
So I sort of so that we're not speculating that we are just moving our political allies to remain in a position, move them to somewhere else. I would love for I would love for us to know the metric for which we can judge if he's performing or not in this new position, because this is what we're expecting. He was Minister of Sport. Many of us felt that there were gaps in that particular ministry under his administration, and would love to see that if he's now being moved to an even more important ministry, which is
if there won't be
trade
gaps
and investment, there won't be gaps there at all. And it would have been more appropriate to have someone within that that has background knowledge in that space to be the one.
I'm also happy when I saw Dr. Doris Uzoka Nite. She's been moved to the Minister of State for Finance.
Yes.
So she was taken from the Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment. And we'll see how effective she'll be in this. Which other ones are anybody happy about?
I think there's a flow there. Do you understand? So
which other one were you happy about? Maka, any other one? So those are the new, these are the minister, that's the, now let's talk about Dr.
The new ones.
Oduwo. Let's talk about the new ones, the new guys. Yes. Let's start with, we all know Dr. Jumoke because we are familiar with her from the last administration. She was the special advisor to, I think, the Vice President on Economy, I believe. So she is now the Minister of Industry and Trade and Investment. And that looks like it's a square peg in a square hole.
It looks like a perfect fit for her, and I definitely look forward to seeing her perform. I'm hoping that the bureaucracy will not stop her ability to, but she's been there. So, you know, it's a different thing. She's worked within that system, so it should be easy. Bianca was interesting. I felt like it was pandered to it was appropriate for the Southeast, and she's some, I don't know how strong her influence is, but because of the name and affiliation, yes, I think it was, yes. You know, we need to always satisfy every region, and there must be inclusion. So I think it was a good inclusion.
Yes, so I'm really happy about Bianca Ojukru's appointment, especially as foreign affairs, because I feel that suits her personality. I feel that she's going to do great at it, and you know, congratulations to her. I was happy to when I saw her name there.
But the one that could be most controversial, or is the renaming of the Ministry of Niger Delta Development to Ministry of Regional Development to oversee the activities of the Regional Development Commissions. Now, this regional commission, I was saying, this is Southwest, does not need this kind of commission. It said the Regional Development Commission is to supervise the new ministry under the Niger Delta Development Commission, the Southeast Development Commission, the Northeast Development, the Northwest Development Commission. So there's no Southwest Development Commission. So this ministry now is going to supervise all these regional.
I think it's better.
Is it? Yes.
Because we had a full ministry just dealing with one issue.
Side.
Yes. There are issues in one regional issue. Not even this development commission are meant to be interventions to deal with issues that are already on ground.
Yes.
So there is issue in Northeast. Do we need to set up another a full ministry to deal with Northeast?
Okay.
We need to set up a full ministry to deal with North. So every region where we have particular issues, insecurity in this place, banditry in this place. Niger Delta was because of the intervention of oil and what was that happened to them that time? Yes. They were having crude oil theft, kidnapping, bunkering. So there were issues. So we wanted to inject funds to deal with those issues. And so they have gotten that a lot of injection of funds in that area. So to be interesting.
My worry is the effectiveness.
I don't know how they've created more. That's what I think.
I don't know how effective this one body would be.
Yes,
because
that's my point.
These are big regions with big issues.
Yes.
I don't even know how effective, because ordinarily the one for one region, we don't see how effective it is.
We do not see the effectiveness because there's corruption inside it. So moving on, if they remove corruption, we'll see
this new overseeing region. Now, is it not another way of making
it
spending money and setting up?
Well,
they've clamored, and they clamored that they also have issues. So you cannot give ministry to one region and not give ministry to another region.
I have to address. Not give to another region. I'm just saying this overall region, this supervisory role now that we are doing is necessary.
When people are talking, can't hear anybody. Let us take it this way.
Okay.
I don't want us to continue that narrative with Nigerian people. Once government does anything, it's not just to go and chop money. What is this?
No.
Let us,
I don't talk like that.
I know, but I want us, because even though there are people that talk like that, let us also look at it. Let us be developmental journalists.
Yes, which is what we are doing. And I'm saying the commissions already exist.
Okay.
Yes. How effective have the commissions been so far? Yeah. Shouldn't we be looking at strengthening those commissions to make them stand? Now, the particular, you said the Southwest does not have a commission.
Imagine.
Because you people don't have an issue. We don't have an issue.
We have issues. Now, there's this nation.
So good. Then we can
set up a commission. We
can set up a commission for that. But it's not.
Sunday, we're always on the loose.
It's not a problem that is affecting productivity.
Enough to reach.
Yes, enough for us to set up a... No, but let's not just gather commission because we want to chop money.
Let's be realistic.
Let's be realistic about it. So those commissions we have, how are we strengthening it to make sure that they work? Setting up another supervisory commission is going to take a lot of resources that we don't have. We were supposed to be managing.
To be managing funds.
They have scrapped Ministry of Sports Development, and now everybody will now fall under National Sports Commission. So maybe the National Sports Commission would have like, because commission would mean that your tenure is not bound by the administration. Maybe you have like 5 years or something, so we can see a more long-term approach. I don't know, but maybe they will now give us more information, a proper document about how the difference, what will happen. Because I know they will not, all this scrapping does not sack anybody.
Yeah.
So they're not to develop under the commission. It's not because sometimes I don't even understand what this one is doing, what this one is doing.
There's always been Ministry of Sports Development, and there's always been National Sports Commission. So now
they are merging
together.
And they're merging them. So let's be optimistic.
We are optimistic.
But please, can we talk about? Yeah, but can we talk about? Who does anybody know about this? The Ministry of Livestock. We're talking about. So
please don't talk about what you don't know.
No.
Okay, so what happened to the Ministry of Livestock? It's very important.
I'm seeing it.
It's a major issue.
It's a major issue now because there's no food now. So seeing it excites me. So that's what I want to say. That does anybody really know about this person now?
Maybe it should be under Ministry of Agric.
we have
Federal Ministry of Livestock.
We have Idi Mukhtar Maiha. He's the Ministry of Livestock. He's going to be now be in charge of that. So we'll see how that goes. But one of the things I want to also talk about is there was one that I was interested in right now. I just lost it. I think is education. So hey, the caller had mentioned why he thought they should have sacked the Minister of Education.
Okay.
And while you're talking, I was saying that there are other educationists who deserve that role. Now, we don't know this person, this new person, Professor, I'm trying to get his name now. Let me see, the Minister of Education. Shuaiba Said Ahmed, PhD. So we don't know who he is. I'm hoping indeed that he's also a square peg in a square hole, because the truth is that there's quite a bit of issues within the educational sector. There's still that perception that our own curriculum...
Lady.
Is he a lady?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, she's a trained educationist, gender advocate and consultant. And she has been in the field of education for 17 years.
Exactly.
So we're just learning about these ministers, and hopefully we'll get to know them more about them, because this is just 24 hours. So we're still trying to figure out who is who in the coming days. But for now, we're hoping that this person will be able to do
she's fairly
kind of
young.
work required in the Ministry of Education.
We need a lot of regeneration in that.
She's fairly young. I remember the last minister that I felt made major impact in the Ministry of Education was basically Beecee, because there was that one. It was a major shake-up. It was like, I'm willing to put my child in the public school. I'm willing to, like, that kind of selfless service is what I want displayed in all these ministers that we're bringing in.
Some people were saying online. Okay, want to take a call?
Take a call. Latif. Good morning, Latif. Thanks for calling. You're live.
Good morning. How are you,
Good morning, sir. Very good.
Very well.
Very well.
I want to speak on the issue of commission. There is Southwest Commission, and the nation is coming to every region requesting for commission. I think it is better they are advised by one ministry. Besides that, I want to make a little correction about the mention of this pronunciation. Please, something like Jaibu. Mora is often pronounced Jaibu as Jaibu. Maybe Jaibu. And the other day, my co-teacher, the actually was pronouncing Iran as Iran. All these most about integrity when people listen to the pronunciation and all these things.
So the lady, the PhD lady, is actually Minister of State for Education.
Okay.
The substantive minister is, I just got his name this second now. Just lost it. I just had it. But yeah, she's actually the Minister of State for Education.
That's PhD Dr. Yusuf Tanko.
Yes, that's the minister. So we need to know his pedigree and know exactly if indeed he's going to be. Yeah, go ahead, Mark.
Some people are saying that what's the difference between Wike's approach and the Uju Kennedy's approach? That was the difference in their approach. That they didn't mention Wike in this matter, and then Uju. That what is the difference in their approach?
But you see,
so people are
really
upset about
people
this.
are saying Wike is working, like there's nobody that I've met. From the driver to the big man to the regular folks, everybody are saying that this Wike man is working. So the Gragra approach is good, but achieve results. So now, what are the results Dr. Uju Kennedy was supposed to achieve that she did not achieve? Because so it's not maybe it's not the Gragra that is the issue. Maybe it's the result. Let us know.
I think it's also the Gragra. You know, the way they judge Gragra.
We can do Gragra.
Gender Gragra.
When a man does, he says assertive. When a woman is assertive, they say aggression. That's how they judge it. So till we get to a point where we are looking beyond how they are acting based on their personality to the content and the job they are doing, we'll keep saying, because we are expected that women will have a way of be soft, say it gently, respectfully. You're a woman after all. You're in husband's house. Don't you respect your husband? I have your type in my house. Those are some of the things that we see that, okay, no, this one is too harsh. We don't want this.
So the minister, all these new ministers that they're bringing in will still have to go through Senate screening. So nothing really cast in stone yet, but we would like the Senate to carry out the broadcast. They should broadcast the screening so we can see, we can hear the questions.
Just about 5 now, just 7 people.
Yes, we can hear the questions, because going through the details about the minister for the person that they're appointing for livestock, I feel like it will be a good person because he understands ranching. He's done business with that's what he does, ranching. And it will be a great thing, sir, if you can take cows from the streets of Nigeria, because it is not expected that you are walking the streets of a nation and you are jamming cows.
Sokwe,
you are driving
I disagree with
on
you.
the streets of Abuja, you are jamming cow. On Third Mainland Bridge, no, not Third Mainland Bridge.
I disagree. Me, I saw on Third Mainland.
I've said
recently.
No, doing that.
Even
I recorded myself.
I've seen someone that I've seen a jamming of cow just after Third Mainland Bridge. These things should not happen. So my appeal is our Minister for Livestock. Let me land my appeal.
Land now.
Please, put our livestock away from the roads.
Okay.
Thank you.
Now, I think that is debatable. The reason why I say that, because I've been to countries where they are pushing sheep off the road. They are pushing sheep because the people have accepted this is our culture. We have farmers in this region. They enter certain communities. You understand? That's what I'm saying. I dislike it's debatable because we need to also accept our culture. These are people's lifestyle for centuries. So there are also there's a debate that you have been modern and say that take them off our streets because we don't have the skyscrapers. We're saying this is our lifestyle. We've been doing this for years. So
maybe they designate some areas.
Yes. So now we are meeting.
Not in Abuja.
Now we are meeting halfway. We're saying that recognize that there are areas where cows can walk the streets because that's the community.
Thank you for reminding me because there are some places where they have like deer zone, even in abroad. Where
see now there are brothers
you know already,
but it's there. So when I go to that area. Because you will know that you have to slow down and be aware of the animals here. So I can't be driving on Third Mainland Bridge
and then
a cow now
agree with you. But respect my area if I want cows to walk around.
That's fine.
No problem.
Fantastic. Your area.
Going on now, let's move on. Who else are we talking about? Let's see. Which one have we with folks spoken about?
Not Minister of Youth and Employment. Not spoken about.
My darling, this Jamila, Dr. Jamila, we didn't talk about this. Doctor, she was the minister. She's gone. She's the one that was sacked.
Oh, the Minister for Youth Development.
So, she came in late. There was issues about who's going to be... I mean, she's such a pretty woman, young...
Let's not talk about the previous because that will distract from...
Okay, Dr.
But her CV was... She had a very solid CV.
Impressive,
solid
CV. Did she deliver? Because I don't
know. Again, we don't know the KPI.
I also feel that sometimes before we bring in totally new people into being ministers. It would be nice, like the case of Dr. Joe Duwale, where you've served maybe in the National Economic Council, you've worked, you've served within, you've understood how to deal with politicians and ministry. Because you might be this headed, you are very good, but you don't know how to deal with ministries and politicians. And it might not become a stumbling block in your performance.
It goes back to what we talked about yesterday. You bring their brothers. Oh, he went to Harvard. He's the best. And now put them in the ministry. And then they fall apart because... So you need somebody who has... Yes, you're a returnee.
Maybe do a Lagos.
You're a returnee.
Or do your
but you can still work in different ministries for a while. As someone like me now, I am a returnee, but I have entered the system. I know what I'm fully qualified. But anyway, so the point is that we bring them raw like that. Sometimes they might have issues. So there was one issue when we talked about.
Yeah. So does anybody know about the? Because I'm looking at the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction. You know that ministry was controversial. So whether we know whether this new person now,
so Dr. Nentawe, is the new Minister designate for Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction. We don't know much about this person, but I'm sure as in the coming days we'll do more research about them.
He's a man. She's
a professor.
So we'll see more of their CV. We'll read more about them. These are people that hopefully we'll be bringing them on the show at some point to share with us their vision and their plans for these ministries. But the one I was really concerned about, this number 8. The appointment of Sunday Dare. You know Sunday Dare is a friend of the house?
Yeah.
Appointment of Sunday Dare as the special advisor to Mr. President on public communication and orientation, working from the Ministry of Information and National Orientation. Now, is that...
The guy was...
What was he doing before?
Was sports in the former...
Oh, yes.
Buhari was sports.
Yes, he was
sports. But he used to work with the president.
Yes.
I think it was a personal assistant many years ago. Okay. So now he's back as special advisor to the president on public communication orientation. I don't know what that means, but does it sound like Nglale's?
Yes, but they said that they said it's from the Ministry of Information and National Orientation.
I know, but since he's the
those roles
public communication, because
it's not the same.
Because this administration has a problem with the communication that Nigerians can understand. You see, you are doing the work. The text is there, right? But sometimes it's too cumbersome, or say, I'll say it, for Nigerians to internalize. You remove subsidy. Dangote is supposed to be selling to us, which all we know is that we're paying 1,000 naira and 50.
Yes.
So somebody really needs to break
it down.
So hopefully Sunday Dare might be doing that. Just I know Ngalale, Ajuri tried. I can understand an Ajuri's press release.
Yes.
But there's somebody...
But his English is quite above a lot of Nigerians.
So somebody else at the level, maybe not a higher education, might not understand. So we need somebody who can bring it down. Because I had suggested once to, when I had the opportunity, some of these guys came to, I think, TVC at some point. I think the Ministry of Information, I believe, came to the office. And I had suggested, I said, listen, the same way we have daily press briefing in the US, or where the correspondents are constantly waiting. Or if the only thing President did today was wake up and sleep.
Tell us.
Come on at 5 p.m. every day. I know that, okay, there's somebody going to come and tell today, the President just woke up, he had breakfast, and then he went to bed. No meetings today. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow.
Yes.
Tuesday, come again, 5 o'clock. I know that every single 5 day, I'm hearing from Aso Rock on what the President did, what the minister are told to do. So when I'm getting that daily briefing, if social media shows up, I say, President did it, that's not true. Because you have information, you have daily information. You are downloading it in piecemeal, in capsules, every single day. Because when you come up with this heavy... They can, so you must.
They can.
You must. If you constantly give them this, your press releases, nobody gets it. But if you break it out in small bits, people can actually understand and assimilate.
Have conversations with the people
so
and ask questions.
I agree with this.
It's important. That's what I'm doing. It's cumbersome. As it could be to be planning everything.
If you chunk it down, it
makes it easy. Yeah, because the laymen, what they keep seeing is everybody just angry and so. But if you break it down,
every single day,
and you know that we always have the presidency has a team of people, press people that always have to show up at those places, and they can ask questions, and that way we can get clarity. Somebody can say, okay, the English I don't understand it, but if I now ask you a question, you'll be forced to explain it to me, and Nigerians can understand the explanation better. Still, they say Nigeria cannot grow without Ajaokuta working. We can't grow without the steel. We can't grow because we can't manufacture anything if we don't have the raw material through iron. So whoever is a minister for steel is going to have a lot of work. The former person, the Minister for State for Steel, has been moved to Minister for State for Regional Development. Sometimes when we do these moves, like I said, we will not know until much
I think we can wrap up on this. I'm not sure there's any other thing to discuss on it, but what we'll probably need is in the coming days, we get more of their CV, what they've done, so we can even adequately talk about them and our expectations of them. But this is just based on this list that was released yesterday. So we can still give ourselves some time to see who and who is on the list.
Go and dig up
let's get more information about this. I think let's take a few comments. Let's take a few comments and then we wrap up on this. Let me see who else is sending us messages on this. Who has comments, thoughts on this? We can take a few before we go.
Lumide Bola on YouTube here says, the sacked Minister of Women Affairs clashed during hearing with a panel set up by House of Reps to investigate accusation made against her by some contractors for delaying their payments.
We saw that.
We saw that video.
Okay, I think that's all we can take on this, but really in a nutshell, congratulations to the newly appointed ministers, and we hope that they're able to be properly screened once they go through the screening, and once they become substantive ministers, we'll try to see if we can bring them on the show to tell Nigerians what they plan to do. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So remember, it's Thursdays, our gist day. There's no way we can go through a Thursday without gisting about marriage and family.
Exactly.
So
Thank you.
this story caught our attention, and we thought it was discussion worthy. It was like women struggling. The women who are struggling to find a partner are the ones who are wife material.
Hi.
The ones who are on the streets, according to this person's perspective, are not having issues at all because men are sending mixed messages. Now, this perspective suggests that societal expectations and behaviors around relationships and partner selection are complex and contradictory. It implies that women who embody the traditional wife material, the church girl, the mosque girl qualities may face challenges because the behaviors and preferences of men expressed is inconsistent and unclear.
No.
What are your thoughts? You can call us on the numbers on your screen, 081-0764-1679, 090-241-63440. You can also send us messages on X and on YouTube. Ladies, you see, this gist there, many of our young girls have been raised to be good girls. Go to church, pray, do your 5 times a day, prayers daily, wear your hijab, be humble, just be very humble and be keeping yourself. And they are raised that way. And in those that have been raised, some of them just it out, just do that. I don't care. They're out there, have boyfriends. Some of them getting early sexually active. They are more expressive of who they are. And then fast forward 10 years, the ones who are wife material, who are humble, they are still trying to find somebody today, in today's time. It's not our time, in today's time. And the ones who are out there, who've seen the world, who've traveled, and they are settled with somebody. They found one person, and they're fine. And then the conversation is like, okay, is it that we misled the wife materials? Because now they're wondering, nobody wants my kind. My kind that is also secretly wanting that kind. So my kind that I thought was raised like me, church boy like me, inside somewhere in his mind,
no church boys
he's admiring the Shaprapra one.
Church boys no
so
more.
He's forced himself to marry me, the nice one. But in his heart's
he wants that one with those tendencies.
What can we do? Because it's getting frustrating.
I think it's because everybody is lying to themselves right from the beginning. They are faking it. The idea of, oh, this is a very good girl. The person has been told this is how you should behave so that you can get a man.
A man, yeah.
Like when they say, if you come, there was a controversial pastor that said, if you were a Beecee girl that comes to church and pretend that you are a church girl so that you can catch a church boy, don't worry. It is the Beecee boys too that came to church to find that you will meet yourselves in church because you cannot deceive
the Beecee people.
Yes, that you will jam yourself because that's another template. People will live their life and then they will now convert and be humble in church. So there's a lot of fakeness. There's a lot of false narrative, fake life around us. People that are forcing themselves to present this. Yes, to present this holier than thou, which is not from within them, but because they have been told this is how you should be. And men value honesty. So when they see you that you are all comported and all of that, but they can smell that deceit. And they see somebody else that looks like I'm all crazy, but they can see the honesty. I'd rather take the crazy person that I know is honest than the one that is forming, but might come into the house and turn into something else when I bring her in. So I think that might be the issue because we think we can sustain that deception. If you are a good girl, you're not deceiving, you're just a naturally calm person. You find your own. You find that person.
Okay, you're missing this combo. You're missing this brief. You're not getting this brief. The brief is you're a good girl. You're not faking it. This is who you are. You obey the rules. You go to church 3 times a week, 4 times a week. You go to work. You come back. You don't go to clubs. You're a good girl. You don't need mommy, house, work, mommy, house, like that.
How would you not meet the person?
So the point. So because usually either referral, you meet them at a good Christian party in church, events, or maybe somebody, you go by the rules. You now finally realize that your girlfriend, who is out there doing stuff, is the one that was able to meet this guy, and you are still there doing the right thing. So the question is, this is our auntie that we have raised to be a good girl. Should we turn her bad to be able to settle? Because that's her desire. Not every woman wants to settle down, but this one, her desire is to settle down. Should we tell auntie, drop this thing and just go and clean up your skin, do this, and buy 20-inch long hair? I mean, what are we telling her? What are we doing? How do we raise or help this young lady?
I think we should allow people to be themselves, and we should give grace to the people who are not like us, so that we don't have some of these issues. Now, I've realized that sometimes there's what is, I would call, seen to be a wife material and an actual wife material.
Yeah.
Now, the actual wife material could be in the package of the randy girl out there. She hangs out. She does clubbing. But when she meets her man, she knows how to take care of her man. She pays attention to the man's needs. The man is falling head over heels because she knows how to give that respect. She's a good cook. She is clean. She handles the home. They are the ones that get the husband faster. But the seen-to-be wife material, who all her life just knows, I go to church, I come back. Sometimes when you hear, I have a lot of young people close to my age that are not married around me. When you hear the conversations they have, they are quite rude, the ones I know. And I'm like, even me as as I am, I have never spoken to my husband like this. They're quite rude. They are quite, their character is quite brash and mean. And more authoritative, like I have to be in control of everything. Men don't like that. You need to give men space to be needed. You need to give men space to play the hero. They want to do everything a certain way and insist on it. Men will run away. Now you see those girls outside who are doing, I am all here, I am all that, and all that. When they come to their men, they are homely. They pay attention. And so they get the husbands. And then we sit down and say, but I've served God how many years? I've done this. I'm a good girl. I go to church. They see me. I'm only this, that.
Pause.
But you're not checking the box.
Busy, pause. We have to unpack this. This is the heavy stuff. Yes. I say no. Let me tell you why it's heavy. Because a young girl who we've not allowed to have a boyfriend, we've not allowed to do sleepovers. We've just really kept her shielded. She doesn't know what's going on out there. She knows her boyfriend, she's dreaming of her date, her first kiss and everything, you know, but she's really just waiting for that guy to come, marry her when she's,
Night
you know,
and shining
and then, the night and shining, I'm out to come and marry her, and then she gets married. But what we are seeing now, today, is that that doesn't make you wife material.
It doesn't.
That shielded atmosphere you have that was created for you does not necessarily make you a wife material, because a wife material is beyond knowing being a good girl. Is knowing how to
take care of
the man and do the things in different ways.
Something.
So how do we help this? Amaka, jump in here.
So let me start with the joke of, I bet, which ministry came up with this data statistics that we are running with. So for me, let me start with that joke, right? Because all these things we are saying are assumptions. Because 2024 has been a year packed with love, relationship, marriage that's been happening. So let's work with whoever came up with
now. All running on our streets.
Calm down. If you're coming down, no, even godly people, I see them, even the people. So I don't know who's coming up with this statistics, but let's one thing I want us to talk about first of all is the tools available to us now that's widened and broadened a spectrum in finding different things. Before, men were like in the smaller. Their choices were a bit restrictive, right? Where you have to go out or, you know, church or events, whatever, to see or to find, right? But now men are on TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook. Now you're seeing a church girl. You're seeing everything dangling. You're seeing... And men are moved by what they see. So everything is just doing the man, like... So a man that does not have discipline, a man that does not know himself or knows what he wants. You see, that thing that is physical, and then the good girl, they wonder, how I want. So now they are wanting both.
They've always wanted both.
They've always wanted both, but they've always wanted both, but have always pretended and shrouded it that they do not want both.
Society makes them feel as if a responsible man should go for this good girl.
Do you understand? So that is the reality of the matter. But now that everything is in the face, where they are telling you that on social media, you're saying that even church girl can still...
Because Moses Bliss's wife danced to Moses Bliss' song. She's a pastor's daughter. She preaches beautiful church girl. But she didn't dance conventional dance. So it's like she gave dance. And it was that dance that Moses Bliss saw and shoot his shot and sent a DM.
Yeah.
That's how they met and got married.
Yes.
It was not a conversation of, I met her in church. The idea of what Beecee said as per being authentically living your full life.
Yourself. Be who you are.
Be authentic and live. You love God. You like dancing. You will meet your kind.
Wait. Let me. There's somebody I know. This girl, unfortunately, was one of those people that conformed to the good girl thing, where she was just a good girl for many years, and she did that until she was like 40, I think 40, over 40.
Hi.
Then
That was a long time.
I saw her for the first time maybe 2 years ago. God has relaxed her hair. But because this was, she used to do natural hair, I see, she has never done, and she used to, this is, well, she was one of the proper, deeper life looking ish person. She had relaxed her hair, she was wearing a weave. I saw her dressed in a very, very worldly way. And I go, Sister Lagbaja, long time, how are you doing? Are you looking really, really good? It's now like when she was 42.
She realized.
She now realized that this, my behavior, Mommy Gio behavior, is not working. Let me switch. You know this girl has gotten married.
After switching.
This year, this year, she married.
Yeah. So,
maybe she's 44 this year.
We are missing the point, which is, it's not about how you present yourself. It's about who you are.
We've trained children to present themselves in that holy way.
It's about who you are. It's about who you want to become. It's about owning your space. And that is what a man will see and say, is Tope that I like, because she's authentic. Tope can be in church, be godly. We all grew up in church here. Know the scriptures front and back to front, and everything. Be respectful to our parents, and also have lively personality. And also be able to hold conversation. And your guy is talking to you and he's like, you're so wise. How old are you again? Right? You can have all of that. Now, where we pay attention is look a certain way, dress a certain way, cover yourself a certain way. We are not paying, don't laugh too much. We're not paying attention to, do you have a healthy self-esteem? Do you have that confidence? Can you walk in your space? Can you own your space? Can you have conversations? Can you hold the room? Can you walk in and everybody's asking, who is this girl? Can you do that?
You're not meant to be walking in and they'll be saying, who is the girl?
No, you're not getting what I'm saying.
The church girl is not taught to walk in and own the room.
That is where the problem is.
She's meant to walk in and nobody will see you.
Yeah, that is where the problem is. So you realize after 40 that I have to be seen. I have a lot of dreams. I have a lot of values. I have people out there who need someone like me to come into their life. And you're waking up late. So we need to change the conversation. You can train your children. Sorry, my darling, I'm coming. You can train your children to be able to be godly, which is what everybody wants. I don't really care. Be godly in a certain way, but own their space. Have that confidence. Have that self-esteem. Know what they want. Not be afraid to go for what they want.
Which also brings me to let me step into what you're saying. Like, for me, I've always preached on this platform that, man, know thyself, first of all. So, and we keep going from the angle of as if, like, it's someone that is choosing the women, right? How about, like, if most of the times, these church girls, they want that man on the streets.
They do.
And that the kind of men that they are seeing in church is not going to give them that thing that they want. You also need to look at it from that perspective too. It's not just about the man wanting. It's also about the woman wanting, and what the woman wants. They have to meet. You understand? So if the woman maybe has certain needs that our value system in the past has not allowed her to express, and she's molded herself the certain way, she's going to church and all those things. And then the kind of guys that step into her are the brothers or the pastors, but that's not who she wants to be with. So her suitors for her are boring. She wants the yoppie guy.
Are you saying that suitors in the church are boring?
I'm not saying that. I'm just giving an example.
I'm giving
an example. Let me land this in. I allowed you to talk. Let me speak. So what I'm trying to say is that the church girl might not want the church boy. Maybe she does not want a pastor. She does not want to marry a pastor. The pastor might be seeing her as, this is a good girl, good upbringing and everything.
It's not easier for her to find a man.
Yeah, do you understand?
It's not easier for her, but that kind of person, that kind of girl.
That's what I'm saying.
It's easier for her.
That's what I'm saying. She has suitors, but that's not what she wants. Yes.
What I'm saying that it's easier to perhaps even find the suitors outside church.
Yeah.
Or someone like that.
No, but because she has been outside the church, but because she has been programmed that she does not know where to go outside the church to connect, to be in the environment to meet those kind of people.
Right.
So she is in. She's
so for
trying
example,
to find herself.
let me break it down.
Yeah.
So a young girl now has been raised to be that good girl.
Yes.
But she watches movies, love stories.
Yeah.
She watches Korean movies where they're giving flowers, they're taking them out, and she also wants that. But the church guy is not doing that. Let's just go to fellowship. Let's just go to, that's all he does.
I bet to differ.
She desires that TDH outside. She also wants that, right?
Yeah.
So I'm saying that it's easier for her to step outside that and meet somebody.
Exactly.
So don't you think that the problem is on healthy expectations set up by movies, novels, social media, so much that people have good marriages but are looking for the kind of romance they've seen in movies and they're not content with what they have? Because while I love what Amaka said when she said, let's question the statistics, because in the churches where I grew up, we cannot have single, mature, godly person. They will find you husband. They would introduce you to someone.
Really?
Because they would bring that match and have a conversation that this brother is looking. You are single.
What's going on?
Let's find out, and they have marriage. And the purpose of the marriage is we are coming together, we're going to glorify God, we'll support one another. And there's no, the issue comes up when either of the party has watched too much romantic movies of Oyibo style and start expecting the husband, Nigerian African man, to begin to display and give the things that they get from Oyibo film, which is different. It also brings dissatisfaction in dating, because here you are, you met a Nigerian man and you're expecting he will bring you flowers, take you to high-end restaurants. I was dating.
Wait,
me and my husband toured all the Amala joints of Lagos. And it was okay. I did not expect that he would carry me to high-end, maybe because I don't watch a lot of Netflix and Orishirishi. So Amala was good. Oh, let's go to Amala Shita. Oh, let's go to Amala White House. Let's go to Amala. We're sampling out different. I didn't necessarily like Amala, but it was a case of this is the person that I am in a relationship with, and this is his idea of hangout. So if I now choose to start looking at that hangout as beneath me, or it's not romantic because it is Amala, then I will lose that opportunity to have an amazing relationship, and then I'll be sitting on the shelf for a very long time. We need to discuss this difference.
Okay, I like where you've taken us to.
Yes, please.
That's a conversation worthy to have, because there are lots of women in that situation. Okay, when I married you, I was okay with Amala joints. Now, I want to go to Korean. I want to go to Taiwan. I want to have evolved. You are still in the Amala joint. I have gone to China. I want to go. And society today is going to be questioning that woman for saying she wants something different. So, must she be tied to the Amala joint relationship for the rest of her life? Because by 2024, we're saying that we are changing. Women are changing. We're saying that we don't have our mothers would have stayed with the Amala joint, even though every other person has moved on.
We want Chinese.
This woman is saying, no, I want Chinese. I'm done.
So the question, sorry.
Wait, two of you, hold on. I have a caller. Good morning, Jibola, you're live. Thanks for calling.
I'm good.
Jibola, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, you see, this topic you brought this morning just brought back a very personal memory. This we have this portrait of mine. It was everywhere in the campus, Egg Club, Rotaract. There was even a handout then at school. What Lagos and Bata about. But she ended up being a white woman. Totally changed. So that is it. Be yourself. That is it. You feel exuberancy, adolescent life, that was for the past. He's the woman in me. But then at campus, nobody wants to live in that.
I'm struggling to hear you, sir.
Hope our viewers heard him, because I didn't hear him at all. Okay, who wants to go first? Okay.
So what I want to say is this, So the question here is, be true to yourself. Is stop, for example, being true to the Amala eating, right? that okay, I like Amala, and then tomorrow I want flowers, and then tomorrow she start asking for flowers. That maybe inside her mind she was pretending to eat Amala, but maybe inside her mind she wants flower. And then the husband now will not say, but this is not the woman I married. The woman I married was okay with my Amala eating. Why do you not want flower? So are women pretending? Are they changing? So let's be direct. Are people pretending to marry?
Yes.
Are you yourself so that whoever comes to you will know that this is me and love you for
it's not evolution.
What is it's not evolution?
She's
it's
right.
No.
It's not evolution. In some cases,
so let us understand. You are right, Amaka, 150%.
Yes.
Because many of us, we are hitting 25, you are hitting 29, you are hitting 30, and you just let me just do the Amala. Let me just pretend to like Amala, so I can just enter this marriage. But that's not your true self.
Yes.
That's a recipe. That's a recipe for disaster. That's on one hand.
There are majority of women who get into themselves in marriage, who find themselves in marriage. A lot of us married very early before we even realize how to wash our pants properly. And in that marriage, as you're growing, your needs are changing. Life is changing, and you are changing, and you are evolving. And if tomorrow I wake up, I say, okay, I'm not interested in Amala anymore. Is there a way we can have the flowers? You should be able to grow with me. It's a conversation I should be willing to have with you to say, I am moving. These are my new needs. And our body, in fact, when you hit 30, is a different ball game. When you hit 40, is a different ball game. When you hit 50, I remember when we had is it Shego Obe, the singer and the wife here, when she said when she hit 50, she felt like she wanted to leave the marriage. Her body was changing. There were needs that were growing. You will not say that person was pretending, except you're not ready to have a conversation. Human beings will always evolve and grow. Now, let me add a little thing to what Amaka had said earlier on. The church boys that I know are actually very exciting. They come to church. They are the same people that go to the clubs. Some. No, I'm not talking about people that live in the club. I'm talking about regular people who have a life. They are in church. They play the instruments and everything. They are the same people that hang out. They are fun. But because they are in a church setting, they act like you're in the church setting. So when you go out there, you see them for who they are. The idea is not about whether you are in church or not. The idea is about who are you? What's your personality? What do you want from this relationship? Can you identify what you want and go for it, irrespective of what people are saying? And
I want to hold you because there's something in my head.
All right.
And I need you to even help me to respond to this. So a woman did Amala, right? Now, she has evolved. This woman who wants to bust out because she has evolved to something and says, you know, I'm done with this marriage. Okay, I lied. Let me admit, I lied that I like Amala.
Okay.
I don't lie. I never liked Amala. Now I'm in my 40s. I like Korean. Now, she's advised to stay regardless and just manage it. The reason is because people will tell her that in the next 20 years, you'll be 60 and 70 years old. No,
you will not have
you don't have those desires anymore. Korean, no, Amalao, everything will not be nothing. The only thing that will sustain you when you're 70 is friendship and companionship. So hold this your desire, suppress it, and manage it. Because when you are 70, that's why when our mothers are celebrating 50 years of marriage, they forget a 20-year gap of frustration.
Yeah.
They suppress it. They remove the 20 years gap.
They don't
share. They suppress it because, hey, my children are now living, they are married, you know. So I feel fulfilled and successful. Now that they are smiling, are we supposed to therefore overlook that gap of, okay, they didn't really have a fulfilling life? So my question to you, Beecee, is that what advice are we giving to women? If you get to that point where you say, I don't want Amala anymore, should you just suppress it?
That's about compromise.
No.
That's about
Yes.
you,
When you're done.
life is about
the idea is, can I respond, please? The idea is not to suppress it. The idea is to have a conversation with your partner, to say, this is the new leaf that I am turning, and find a way to understand each other. You may not have to turn the leaf 60 leaves. You may have to turn a little, and your partner meets you halfway. Like you rightly said, it's compromise. The problem is where you now have a partner who refuses to compromise. That's where the problem is. A lot of women don't want to wake up and leave their homes. Most women that I know want to be married till forever. But then you now have a strong-headed, coconut head partner who says, this is the way my forefathers were. This is how it's going to be forever and ever and ever. And the woman gets to a point where she says, I can't deal with this anymore. The people who have been able to go above that are people who have partners who now understand, okay, how can we make a little adjustment?
No, don't go too far.
How can we give you a little... How can we give you small?
Beecee, go back to that person. That person who is frustrated and has the coconut.
Yes, coconut.
What should that person do?
Okay, so if you cannot find a way to change your partner to your side, I either of two things. It's either you manage it, which is what our parents have been begging us,
yes,
or you walk away.
Now, if you walk away and you're now 70, you now start feeling regret because you don't have a companion anymore.
You can live till, I'm so sorry. And let me just, I'll make it very short. You can live till 70 thinking that you will have a relationship till 70, and God forbid, from 60 the man packs up.
Oh, what would you do?
Or from 60 you are nursing and wiping bomb till you're 70. So we don't know what the future holds. In this moment, I want to live this moment and be happy, fulfilled. And if it will not make me happy and fulfilled, and I've done everything humanly possible, that is when you consider option of checking.
So we need to understand that both parties evolve in life and in relationships. It's not just the woman, right? And then we need to understand that people don't catch up at the same time and same frequency. So where there's love and there's patience and understanding, you can, you know, like she said, talk, keep communicating, go for counseling to be able to catch up with one another. If someone really cares about you, they want to understand your needs. They want to, even if 100%, they're not willing to, you know, turn 360, but they're willing to understand what you, and it's important to also communicate your needs and not just assume that someone is a mind reader and should know that now you want this or you want that. So communicating that, going for counseling, and still knowing if your partner still cares and loves you, because things change. Because some people will still be in that marriage and the love is dead. And so if someone doesn't care about you, they're not willing to move an inch to meet you. But if someone still cares about you, they still try to understand this person, whether this man or woman, and then
let me take
trying to wait.
A few comments. Says, unfortunately, this from Mr. Gbenga Ademujimi. He says that, unfortunately, many ladies, though they know men, okay, I didn't get that part. Over 70% of them don't know what we look for. Every man wants a self-discovered woman, respectful follow-up, but who can step into the office of the CEO when needed. The day I saw my wife, I knew this is her, and no waste of time. 2 decades running without any marital migraine. Beecee is unlocking the lock. Well done.
Thank you.
Any other comments?
Okay, so somebody said on YouTube, somebody said marriage is overplayed in our lives. There are many marriages not happy, just coping.
But coping.
That's quite true. So yeah, go ahead.
Yes, Joshua says, are there always something? Are there not always something to suppress in a relationship that is lasting longer? I think compromise means you're suppressing some of the things you want because you want to
make it work.
Make it work.
Or make it look like it's working.
No, make it
that's
work.
Another aspect.
Even for it to work, you would need to, but state the things you are sacrificing. Like, I'm making this specifically for...
Engineer Tijani sent me something. You know, usually when Engineer Tijani sent me something, he sent me long...
This time it is very short.
So he complained to me. Mariah, I'm sorry, I'm always sending you long comments. So now he sent me one sentence. Engineer, it's too short. We like your long ones. This one is too short. Hello, Mariah. Women who are struggling to have a partner despite being wife material is because the men who are husband material are scarce nowadays. Is that true?
Yeah, yes. I agree.
Really?
Yes.
Men? I don't think so.
I think a lot of men
who are husband material are scarce.
Husband materials.
A lot of men at the age of women that are ready do not have the finances to approach.
We don't have
We don't need finances now.
And they don't know. They don't know.
Material is
I have a lot of young guys around me. Many of them I'm pushing them that, you have a relationship, make the move, or you don't even have a relationship, make the move. Many of them will be like, I don't have enough money. Before you rent a house in Nigeria, before you buy a car, what will get you without, like, the people that can, the good boys, the good guys out there do not have the resources to maintain the relationship girls of nowadays want, majority of the cases.
So even maintain basic relationships. Yes. Many girls I know are not wanting too much.
Discipline, because too many choices and too many, like I told you, the spectrum is now wider. Where you're talking to someone on Facebook, you're talking to someone on TikTok, one guy you're talking to. So for men now, the spectrum is wider.
They can't choose.
Make a choice.
So it's discipline. Finding people that have discipline is key.
Something.
To stick and commit to something. That is it. Discipline.
My question is, must they commit?
Materials are available are already husbands. That's where the problem is.
No. I think there are a lot of men out there, and I think many of them are husband material. Because many of them were raised properly. But I think they're just being blinded by this financial inadequacy.
Yes.
If we remove that financial inadequacy, I'm sure many of them have already ready to get married.
I agree.
Why don't we lift it from there? Because a lot of women are actually doing very well. So, I mean,
people are uncomfortable marrying a woman that is doing well when they are not doing well.
Yeah.
So if I see a woman already,
men are looking for women who have money.
we need more. We need more. We need to talk more about it. There is room. And if there's any girl watching that feels like being a good girl has not gotten you married, just join Hallelujah Challenge. They are prophesying marriage for everybody right now. You're on my cob through that way.
So good girls is more.
Anyway, we have to wrap up. Let's take a few comments because I think I like what Amaka said earlier. That listen, let us not pretend to be who we're not. Know thyself. You know, we are all good girls. We're all raised as good girls. And but today's new world has given everybody a platform, such that you can't find. It's not about being a good girl anymore. It's about finding yourself, finding who you are.
Being authentic.
Being authentic.
Being a good girl. Be good girling yourself. There are many influencers
Be a good girl,
that are making money from just tweeting.
What's your
online.
idea of good?
What's
your idea of good?
When I say
go to church,
no,
pray, and you're wicked. You're jealous.
That's a category.
Wait,
you're stingy.
You're stingy. You're disrespectful.
That's a category.
But you go to church.
You can be good. Go to church, not wear earring, not wear makeup,
authentic,
and still
be authentic to yourself.
Be authentic to yourself and work on your character. That's it. Which one is good girl?
Can I wrap up?
Yes, please, my darling, wrap up.
In a nutshell, what we are saying is that if you're a good girl out there, find who you are, be authentic to who you are. It's not about your physical appearance all the time. It's about what you have inside to give. They always told us that. When no be is about who you are on the inside. But the men of today also, because of their confusion, many of them want good girl that has some spice. They have heavy. So you have to now. So also we have to find a way to be such that we are true to yourself and don't go and marry somebody that you are faking it with the person. You're not being who you're real, because those kind of marriages don't last.
It doesn't.
And eventually, at some point, you will get to that middle age where you're like, you know what, I am done. And there's nothing anybody can do to pull you back. That's all we can take on this show today. Hope you learned a few things as we have. See you tomorrow. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.